Family and friends, top of the day, it's Monday and it's time for some realization. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, of the 331 million citizens counted in 2020, 258.3 million were over the age of 18. 18 is the competent age to engage in valid contractual agreements. Home ownership. According to Experian, 16% of citizens have very poor credit, and an additional 18% have fair credit, for a total of 34%. That's 88 million humans who will struggle with home ownership in some capacity. As a realtor, that is a problem for me, and that's 88 million people that the government will have problems with. Back in 2016, there was an uproar around the concept of healthcare coverage. Irrespective of all factors, based on Affordable Care statistics, roughly 74 million people enrolled in Affordable Care Act-based Medicaid insurance programs. In multiple ways, regardless of the pros and cons, the act helped American citizens. This concern made its way to the crisis level and became top priority for each governmental branch. The million or billion dollar question is, if 74 million people is a crisis, what about the 88 million people who will struggle with home ownership and or credit? 88 million people have less than good credit. And why is that? I'm glad you asked me. From the last video on Monopolistic, we learned that FICO was originally started in 1956 by a mathematician, Earl Isaac, and his co-founder, Bill Fair. Again, the company's initial intent was to provide a creditworthiness system to lenders. The first computer was invented in 1945 by two professors from the University of Pennsylvania. It was called the Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. I assume the creditworthiness system was implemented on this system. Again, stay with me. Let's fast forward to the year of 1986 when the company went public on the New York Stock Exchange. A lot of cool things were going on with computers in the 80s, so apparently FICO entered the stock exchange under the computer industry, assuming consumer risk was assessed using computers back then. It is important to remember that the actual FICO score that's used to assess every consumer's creditworthiness had not been created. FICO didn't debut its first general purpose score until 1989. Stay with me. FICO scores are based on credit reports and range from 300 to 850. When I think of credit, especially when numbers are included, I instantly think of finance, business for sure, and possibly banking. But I absolutely would never consider this creditworthiness assessor being listed in the computer industry, where they are a publicly traded company. The fact is, I'm really not concerned which industry a business is listed under as a publicly traded entity on the New York Stock Exchange, so long as it does not provide skewed or biased results for consumers. Let's get back to the less than good credit. In 2019, 16% of citizens over the age of 18, the legal competent age for contractual agreements, equated for just over 41 million individuals who have credit scores between the ranges of 300 and 579. You need at least a 580 credit score to even think about home ownership, and this score doesn't provide down payment assistance. 41 million Americans cannot enjoy the Declaration's promise to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All men and women now are created equal, right? How? When we have a 3-digit number that directly separates the haves from the have-nots. Not to mention the fact that a company who dominates the consumer lending assessment is listed as a computer company under the New York Stock Exchange. Sounds like we need to redirect our attention from RICO to FICO and figure out how we can get folks a slice of their American pie. Speaking of American pie, tune in on Friday for American pie, apple, or sweet potato. As always, I'm happy to help. Make it a great day.